As promised, here is the full video tutorial for how to get lifelike wax up for the trial denture. So first things first, if you have not seen already, check out this reel which I have made for the list of armamentarium which will be needed in this case. Next, we will be adding the hard wax. After adding the hard wax, I'll use this set of carvers to give the basic root anatomy. What most of the students don't realize is that festooning is an easy task. You don't need cylindrical cones in the form of fruit wax up. What will make your denture stand out compared to others is the gingival carving. So this is how you can use a posterior end of the carver to add the wax. Alternatively, you can also use this other end of the wax knife. This one really has a big scoop. I can take the wax and literally drop it all over the place. And here I am using a jugaad. I am using an electric wax heater which you can easily get online. The girls might be aware about these things. These are mostly used in parlors and so a basic festooning is done, and the gingival carving is what will make it different compared to your routine carving. I like to emphasize here that see the motion of the carver. You have to cut, or I would say I like to use the term push. Push that wax aside, give that contours. The conical appearance will be there. Push, push, push. Even out the contours, the root anatomy, the bulk which has been made up by adding the wax. You should even everything out. Step is really important. This, you should heat the tip of your carver and just slide it over the edge of your teeth, the junction, your cement or enamel junction, or your gingival junction. This will give you your rolled out gingiva. You want your tooth to emerge, the emergence profile which we talk in implants, the appearance of the tooth as if it was coming out of the gingiva, the scalloped and rolled out margin of the gingiva. This one small step will help you achieve that thing. You can see that the tooth appears to be coming out of the gingiva, no matter the gingiva appears somewhat uneven right now. We'll solve that later. And yes, let's start with the laterals. First of all, giving the basic outline, the basic festooning will be done, and then we'll take care of the gingiva as well. Here I am using the posterior edge of the carver to define the gingival margin. You can appreciate how beautiful the papilla between the central and lateral incisor appears in this view on the first quadrant. Your strokes should not just be mesiodistal but also cervicoincisal. The cervicoincisal curvature in this manner will help in achieving that beautiful curvature. Blowtorch I have right now is not suitable for this work. I'll put a picture and the link maybe if possible, and in place of the lighter you should use that blowtorch. It really helps. And that wax has been added on the left side, and on the right side the carving has been done already. So we'll begin on the second quadrant as well, and the basic festooning to begin with. The conical curvature, the gingival margin will be the next to follow. The scoop I was talking about, this scoop really helps me in adding a large amount of wax, and I usually don't remove much of the wax, the red wax. I like to keep some amount of red wax because the dual tone, this hard wax which I'm using, it will be light pink in color, and the red wax which will shine from underneath, the dual nature, the dual tone of the wax up will enhance the appearance in your documentation. My professor taught us when I was in my postgraduate. We used to remove all the wax, the all the normal modeling wax that was removed, and only that amount of wax which is supporting the teeth that will be left out. Everything shall be removed from the buccal area. Personally, I prefer this technique, and you can always do the festooning. That is the most easiest part which you are doing. But again, I want to emphasize that the gingival carving is what will make your carving stand out. Here you can appreciate that the frenum is also being visible. I have added some amount of wax in the midline to create a frenum, and don't mind about the diastema, and so I am working in a setup that I don't have much control, but things need to be done what needs to be done, and definitely this should not be there. Your centrals should be touching each other. Working on the gingival margin for 2 months. This carver is heated. The tip of the carver will help to seal the tooth to the wax up or the central incisor to the gingiva. A warm carver, not hot, but a warm carver will help to merge your strokes, and a cold one will cut.